29th of May marks International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers. On 30th, Secretary General Antonio Guterres led a wreath in honor of fallen peacekeepers at the Peacekeepers Memorial Site just right. But this week, the situation in Gaza undoubtedly became a center of our coverage. Speaking of peacekeeping, I know many of you would ask why there is no peacekeeping mission in Gaza Strip. Should there be one? I believe this question many people have already asked you. Do you think it's possible or useful to have a UN peacekeeping mission in Gaza Strip now or in the future?
For peacekeeping to be, again, possible and for peacekeeping to make sense, there has to be first an agreement between the parties. And peacekeeping has to be based on such an agreement. I also believe that acceptance by the communities that are concerned is also important. And of course, this is for our peacekeepers. They're trying hard to build that kind of trust, with the communities where they are deployed. But I think there has to be this level of acceptance, and obviously there has to be also a decision by the UN Security Council. So these are the key conditions. They apply everywhere, So they would apply to Gaza, and of course, I think the speculations about what some people call the day after look like they're all very hypothetical, but they would apply in any other situation. The heavy strikes continuously cost human lives. On 28th, Mr. Guterres released a statement strongly condemning the bombing in Rafah city on 26th of May.
The Secretary General has condemned in the strongest terms the 26 May airstrikes by the Israeli Defense Forces on Rafah, which hit tents sheltering displaced people. The Secretary General is heartbroken by the killed and injured, including many small children. As he has said before, the horror and suffering must stop immediately.
And the Security Council also held an emergency consultation on this matter. I know it's rare, but let's take a look how delegates of council members reacted to our question before the consultation, and then you will understand the atmosphere in the council.
Just to say that we're going to be discussing this in the council, and I just want to express my own sadness about what happened, and we'll see what comes out of the council later.
What do you want to come out of the council?
I have to see what's presented.
Ambassador,
Good afternoon.
you want to say anything on Rafah?
Will there be any statement? Not here?
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say about Rafah?
We are just discussing it.
Ambassador, a word on Rafah? You're not late.
The Algerian ambassador confirmed later after the consultation that Algeria submitted a draft resolution on Gaza.
Algeria will circulate this afternoon a draft resolution on Rafah.
And what's it going to say? What's the moving?
It
What
will
it
be
wants?
a short text, a decisive text to stop the killing in Rafah.
We've been told its language has already been changed since the first draft, but here is what we know. It's really a short one, demanding three things. First, halt the operation in Rafah. Second, humanitarian ceasefire and releasing of hostages. And third, implementation of relative Security Council resolutions. What does the Secretary General think of this draft resolution? Will the Secretary General support that draft resolution?
You know well, Dezhi, that these resolutions are for up the member states and their wisdom to decide what to do with them.
Yeah, but basically,
our message to the world, our message to the Security Council, our message to the parties, our message to the countries in the region and beyond has remained the same.
That draft resolution demands the halt of the military operation in Rafah, which the Secretary General urged. It demands ceasefire and release of hostages. That's also what the Secretary General
It sounds
called
like
for.
your story is written then.
Okay.
Okay.
After a Security Council meeting, Torwin Eslan, Special Coordinator for Middle East Peace Process, answered our questions. Given the situation in Gaza and West Bank, is two-state solution still alive? You've communicated with the Israeli government officials. Do they still believe a two-state solution you are working on? And how to persuade everybody that this two-state solution deal is still alive? Thank you.
For sure, I've talked to Israeli officials and politicians about the two-state solution. What I do think is that we can't get started in full speed as if nothing had happened. That's why I'm saying that I put a lot of emphasis. If you're going to turn the ship, the Council needs to agree on some major principles, out of which some I've outlined myself in today's meeting and before. We need to start somewhere. I'm also fully aware of the opposition by the Israeli Prime Minister and others in his government on that principle. Well, I mean, we will have to move on it anyway, and the UN do not see a way around that one for a lasting peace to take place. And I just want to recommit and reconfirm that. And I would like to add, I haven't seen the Security Council as pronounced on this matter as they've been since the last year.
And we will closely watch how the ground situation in Gaza affect the UN. And that's all from me.